On March 30th, 1971, the first ever Starbucks opens at Pike Place Market in Seattle, Washington. But how did Starbucks get its start? And how much did the founders sell the company for in the 1980s? Also, how much is the company worth today? In 1971, most American coffee drinkers were drinking weekly brewed low-grade coffee scooped out of a can. Starbucks founders Jerry Baldwin, Zev Siegl, and Gordon Bowker, who first met as students at the University of San Francisco, were set to change that. They were inspired by Alfred Peet's gourmet coffee company in Berkeley, California, which he had opened in 1966. The Dutch-born Peet taught the Starbucks founding trio his roasting techniques. With Peet's blessing, they took those methods to Seattle and opened a store at the city's historic Pike Place Market, selling Peet's high-quality beans and the equipment to brew them, as well as gourmet teas and spices from around the world. In time, the trio began roasting its own beans. The company's name comes from literature, derived from the character Starbuck, the chief mate in Herman Melville's classic maritime novel, Moby-Dick. The trio liked the sound of the name and how it honored the maritime history of Seattle and the coffee trade. In 1987, the founders sold Starbucks, which had grown to 11 locations, for $3.8 million to a former employee named Howard Schultz, who had opened his own Italian-style coffee bar in downtown Seattle called Il Giornale a year earlier. Schultz rebranded Il Giornale with the Starbucks name, and the rest is history. From its humble beginnings, Starbucks has grown to 17,000 locations in the US and more than 40,000 worldwide, and changed the way Americans drink coffee. The company's value is estimated at $104 billion today. Here are other events that happened today in history. In 1855, border ruffians cross into Kansas to force the election of a pro-slavery legislature. In 1867, U.S. Secretary of State William Seward signs a treaty to purchase Alaska from Russia. In 1870, the 15th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution grants black men the right to vote. In 1980, a massive wave collapses a Norwegian oil drilling rig in the North Sea, killing 123 people. In 1981, U.S. President Reagan is shot in the chest on a street in Washington, D.C., but survives. In 2021, a report from the WHO states that bats are the most likely origin of COVID-19. Also in 2021, the NFL approves adding a 17th regular season game to the schedule. And now it's time for our Today in History quiz. When did monarchs Ferdinand and Isabella issue the Alhambra Decree, expelling Jews from Spain? 1478, 1492, 1506, or 1520? Liked learning about Starbucks? Then you'll love this one about the history of the Pop-Tart. Tap the screen to keep the story going on Today in History.